Would I be the a-hole if I wanted nothing to do with my wife and child? My 35M wife, 32F, and I have been together for 8 years. As with any couple, we've had our ups and downs, but we are a generally happy couple and we love each other a lot. We've spoken about having children many times, and I was always very clear about the context in which I would be comfortable having children. I always envisioned myself having children with my wife, but I was also as open as I could possibly be about one specific thing. If she gets pregnant, I would want genetic testing done, and I would want an abortion to happen if the test showed severe problems like Down syndrome. I told my wife this was a deal breaker before we got married, going so far as to say several times in the past that refusing to these terms would be a divorce. I just honestly don't want to be a parent to a child with a severe cognitive disability if I can help it. I've seen many people in my life raise children with severe developmental delays. It seems extremely difficult. A handful of them have expressed regret of having the children directly to me, and I don't imagine I would handle it well personally. Of course, if our child happened to develop an issue after birth, that's another story. And I would understand that that's the hand I'd been dealt. And I would be more than willing to do what I could to raise the child in as happy, healthy an environment possible. But if we can test for it and have an abortion, then that is 100% what I would want to happen, and that is the only term I had when agreeing to have children. She agreed to this throughout every time it has come up. She seemingly always understood where I was coming from, agreeing to this boundary fully. Since she always agreed, it seemed natural to start trying for kids once we were ready financially. We started trying for kids and she got pregnant, so we arranged for testing when she hit around 2 months. We got the results back and, as you can imagine, the child would end up with Down syndrome if we brought it to term. My wife and I were very upset about this as we were really looking forward to having our first child, but I mentioned we would need to schedule an abortion. She said she wants to keep it. It has been 2 months now, and after more arguments than I could have imagined, she is not budging, and I'm at a loss as to what to do. I love my wife with my whole heart, but I also feel somewhat betrayed. I was very proactive in communicating the fact that this was a hard boundary for me, and I would, under no circumstances, want to have a child with Down syndrome or something like it if I could avoid it, nor would I have married her or agreed to have children with her if she did not agree with this, which she did, until she got pregnant. I'm now heavily leaning towards getting a divorce and arranging for child support if she goes through with the pregnancy. I've communicated this to my wife, to which she cried and said I'm a piece of shit for saying that. Before I finish, let me head off what I imagine will be some things I've already thought about that people might bring up. 1. No, I don't think all people with genetic disorders should be aborted. Abortion is a family planning decision, and for my personal family planning, this is the decision I've come to. 2. I understand that many people have children with disabilities who go on to have fulfilling parenthood experiences. Thinking about myself and my personality, that probably won't be me. 3. What would you just abandon you wife, child, if they got into any serious medical problem? No, I just prefer to avoid those situations if possible, and in this case, my wife agreed to it until she got pregnant and only then changed her mind, thus the problem. 4. I understand how being faced with the actual pregnancy could lead to a change in her perspective, but I don't feel the same. I've thought as deeply as I can about this, and I feel broken up about it. Thoughts?